That first doctor we had did not know exactly what he was doing.
I said to you, Mark, get somebody else, get a second opinion. Do you remember that?
The second doctor was a bona fide pulmonologist who knew what she was doing. Going to her was great because she, after questioning me, decided that this is an active person, and she was the one that prescribed portable oxygen. But I am on medication, so it's really important to take the medication you need. How did my getting COPD affect you?
Well, I can remember leaving the hospital when you went on oxygen. I thought, how are we going to do this? And I kept thinking to myself, our lives have changed. The plans that we had made for retirement changed.
When I found out I had COPD, well, once I understood what was going on with my lungs, I got depressed. As you know, a lot of people get depressed with COPD.
I remember at first, it was like you didn't want to go outside the house with that oxygen on you.
No, because I didn't know if I could do it. I lost my confidence in myself, my body. I figured I would spend probably the rest of my life sitting in a recliner watching TV.
But you're not that kind of person, and it didn't take you long. The first thing you did was to go to the YMCA.
I had a lot of self-doubt going into the Y with that. You put the oxygen device on the floor and the tube goes from the oxygen device to your nose. You're thinking, how do I look? You know, people are going to look at me differently. And when I got on that bike and turned the oxygen up full blast, I discovered that, yeah, I could do this without passing out.
Well, I remember when you had often talked about bicycling across the United States.
Well, you know, I've always loved bicycling, and I just thought, if I'm going to do anything, I got to do it now. I don't have much more time. I was buoyant, my confidence went up, and I figured, I can go across the country on a bike.
I remember that you really wanted to do it, and so I said, well, let's just split it up, and let's just do it in small little bites, and we'll make it part of our life. I just felt like we were a team, and I wasn't about to let anybody else be there with you doing that whole thing. By traveling the country in the name of COPD, we took that opportunity and we turned it into something that would help other people.
Well, you made all the difference in the world to me, because without your help, without your support, and I mean emotional, intellectual, and physical support, I couldn't have done it.
You aren't finished yet, are you, with your treks?
No, I'm not done. This latest trek that we're going to take this summer is going to be the last in a West Coast tour, and when we finish this, I'm really going to be proud, because we will have covered the Atlantic coast, the Pacific coast, and gone across the country. That's more than I ever expected to do.